Hey, welcome. I'm Marina Orms. Happy to be here with you. Thanks for stopping by to check out what I have to offer. Astrologyheals.com is my website, and we talk about lots of fun things about astrology and how it impacts our lives and how the qualities of energy that we are experiencing at any given time can be understood more deeply and can reveal a deeper sense of purpose and meaning. And that helps us get over ourselves. It helps us get past some of the everyday anxieties and frustrations and even sometimes depression that we might experience, because it helps us understand the bigger picture of what it is that's going on. And today I wanted to talk to you about the upcoming Taurus New Moon. The new moon will be on Saturday, and it's May 4th. And the new moon in Taurus is always a time of the year. It always happens in the springtime. And it's always a time when it's perfect for us to connect with the earth, to connect with our senses, to see and smell the spring flowers and get our hands in the dirt and do the gardening and set the intentions and plant the seeds for the coming summer season, what it is we're going to be harvesting later in the year, both physically and energetically. And so be sure to get outside and take in the aroma of spring, feel the air, and get your hands into nature, get your body into nature. So the Taurus New Moon is supporting us in that. At the same time, the Taurus New Moon comes at a time when some intense planetary alignments are shaping up. So we've got coming up in 2020 some important alignments between outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, all coming together in Capricorn right before they shift into Aquarius. Actually, Jupiter and Saturn technically won't come together until immediately after they shift into Aquarius. And they'll be the three of those three planets will be dancing with each other, moving past, going retrograde, and generally merging their energies and exploring what it is, taking us into a place of exploring what it is we need to learn in Capricorn. Capricorn and Saturn energies are about restriction, limitation, challenges. It's the hard experiences and realities that are part of life. And that's an important part of our human experience here of life. And the reason it's important is because when we experience those challenges, those restrictions, the feeling of things not working, or the feeling of needing to work hard, to plan, to put in the effort, to have discipline, those are all lessons of Saturn and Capricorn, because what we experience is through that dimension of our human experience, is that when we learn through the experience of things being difficult, we actually build self-esteem. We actually develop a healthy sense of, hey, I did that. I can do that. It's a deeper sense of self-trust that we're developing. And that's really important to our ability to believe in ourselves, our ability to consciously create the future, to have plans and to put in the effort to know that we're going to be achieving something that's truly important. So what's happening right now as we're heading into that 2020 period is we're starting to see some of the dynamics here. So Saturn is moving closer to Pluto right now for the past week. It's been really in its closest approach that it's going to have until we get to December of this year. So we've been really feeling that squeeze and really feeling the frustration of things not working, or what it is that we it's that experience of, there's a newsletter that I have coming out today, and I just want to remind myself how I worded it there, because it's so perfect there. It's the experience of not feeling certain about what is so, and the best way to move forward from here. Because what's happening is we're having doubt. We're having doubt about our ability to create the things that we want and the things that are important to us. And that doubt is actually an important part of the path. And so we need to be here with what is. We need to be here with the doubt. We need to be here with the frustration. If things are moving for you, hooray, that is wonderful. It means that that you're learning that way. And so wherever you are and whatever is happening for you, that this is a time of learning. And so we're talking about how reality and the realities that we're dealing with in the world are teaching us something about ourselves. So I prefaced this by saying I was going to be talking about the difference between truth and reality. Now, Saturn is about reality, and it's about the challenges and the real world issues, the real world limitations that we face. And so you hear sometimes physicists talk about the dilemma, of quantum physics, and how it's saying that matter doesn't really exist and it's not really there. But then when you stub your toe, of course, obviously it is there and it is affecting us. And, we haven't figured out how to transcend that yet. So matter, which also deals with the energy of Saturn, is comparable to reality. And reality is hard and it's unforgiving sometimes. And at least that's our temporary experience of it. We need to feel that limitation, because what it's taking us to is that deeper sense of self-trust. So the other planet involved here is Pluto. Jupiter is also involved, but Pluto right now and Saturn are talking to each other. And Pluto is the planet of truth, of empowerment, of passion, of that deeper place of feeling who we are and where our power actually lies. So truth is Pluto and reality is Saturn. And when you think about, we've talked a lot about reality here, but when you think about truth is something you feel. It's just something It's like it resonates and you feel it, and you know it to be true. And so you can have all the evidence stacking up. I'm laughing a little bit because if you've been watching any of the testimony from Barr in Congress, you're seeing some of the difference between reality and truth. But we're also experiencing this on a personal level. And so we're having to trust ourselves as we look into ourselves to know the truth. Because reality isn't going to necessarily tell you what that truth is. And so you need to decide what the truth is based on what resonates, based on what feels right and true. Now, that's not, we never want to take anything in isolation. That's why we're holistic. We're holistic because we want to see all the pieces together. And when we're thinking about just simply a resonant truth, that's it's less powerful than the truth that we share together. And when we share truth together, what we're doing is we're forming reality. So what you are giving your agreement to is how you are contributing to the reality you experience. And so that when you're choosing to trust yourself and align with that inner truth, you are choosing to agree with what's important to you, what feels true and right to you. And what you'll start to notice as you practice this over time is that reality itself will shift. reality is actually formed by our truth, our choices, our alignment, our agreement. So what it is that we are giving our agreement to is part of how reality is formed. And so reality is two things, right? It's that external, hard, feeling, stubbing your toe, not being able to make things change, or having to deal with what is that you wish was different. So that's reality. Reality is also the reality that you experience, that you choose from within. And that reality from outside that feels unbending is in fact malleable. And what you'll see, that it's subtle. You'll see it change over time. You'll see that your inner choices are shaping that experience of reality, and that when you're making the choices from within, you are capable of shaping reality itself. So it's not as cut and dry as it seems. And when you are trusting yourself and coming from that place of inner truth, then you can give more and more of your agreement to the outer truth that you want to experience. So thinking about the qualities you want. And of course, this is what we do in my program, Manifesting with Moon Cycles. We talk a lot about how to manifest and shape reality on purpose, working with the cycles of the moon from that place of starting with your own inner truth, starting with your intentions, starting with what's important to you. And we all have ways that we give agreement to what we don't want. When we go into fear, when we go into overwhelm, when we go into all the arguments and all the reasons why we can't have what we want, we're giving energy to that. So you hear that when you hear things about the law of attraction and et cetera. Of course, it's a lot more complicated than that. But when you are coming from it's just to remember to come back to that center place where you're anchored in what's important to you, and not coming from a place of fear, or we all do it. We all find ourselves in that place sometimes, but it's how we can shift that when we notice that we're doing it. So truth and reality are really different things. Sometimes we confuse them, but reality is what we experience on the outside. Truth is what resonates, what we feel on the inside, what we know to be true. You can't actually ever prove that something is true. You just have to be you have to feel it. You have to be convinced. And it's something that exists in each one of us. And in fact, our choice of what is true, or our commitment to or confirmation of what is true, can change. And so while one day we might think that one thing is true, on a different day we might see something else to be true. And of course, we know that different people, in the same room at the same time even, can resonate with different truths and come from different places. So the truth is specific. It's specific to a person, to a time, to a place, and it's a vibration that resonates, something that we feel. Reality, on the other hand, is what we experience as external to us, as the sort of the medium in which we operate, that feels like we don't have any control over it. And in many ways we don't. But in fact, we find that when we're coming from a place of truth, that we can subtly choose how we want that reality to go, and it will adjust. It will, not in big obvious ways usually, but often in very recognizable, palpable ways that resonate for us. So choose during this time, especially around this new moon, to really connect with yourself and go. If it feels right for you, you might want to go into a deep process of looking at what really is true for you, and letting go of maybe what you've thought was true in the past, maybe what you have believed, or what is not serving you that you haven't been able to see is not serving you. So a deeper look around this new moon while you're experiencing a connection with nature and planting those seeds for the coming growing season, and taking that time to really honor yourself and let go of what you have thought and open that space for what is speaking to you now, what it is that's emerging in you, that's taking you into a deeper place of self-trust. So, and I have a meditation. I create a meditation for each new and full moon. So there is a meditation for this Taurus new moon that can support you in that process of aligning with your own truth. It's really a profound and powerful meditation. So if that resonates for you, definitely check it out. It can really support you in doing that work of accessing your own truth and making your choices from there. So I will post the link to that meditation in the comments, and thank you so much for stopping by, and stay tuned. There's lots more fun stuff to come. All right, talk to you later. Thanks for stopping by.